What's up everyone, Kamina here. So today I'm going to break down on some of the 1.4 content that Massive released in the last state of the game, as today's special report has been postponed. One of the things that they have said is that they really want to make the game a shooter. At the moment this game is not a shooter and it's just holding down a button until the enemy dies, and having enough stamina basically to survive the damage from the NPCs. They said it's really important for them to get the game back to a shooter and what it feels like from levels 1 to 30, which I totally agree. Massive said that they're going to be reducing the health pools by a lot for the NPCs, but they did say it's a risk the game will become easy with the current pool power. Massive in last week's state of the game, they wanted to close the gap between newer and experienced players, and this is only a good thing as it becomes easier for Massive to balance the game a lot better. Massive have also said they want to smooth out difficulty scaling. At the moment the difficulty between hard and challenge mode is huge. We can do hard content easy at the moment with our eyes closed, but challenge mode becomes more difficult to solo. Of course there are players out there, a very small and skilled amount of players that can do incursions solo on heroic mode, but for the majority of players we will notice that difficulty between hard and challenge it is very difficult and the gap is just too big. They're also going to tweak the brackets as well, so for solo players, to make it a lot easier, and solo players will be able to play the game and ultimately achieve their goal. It will take them longer, but of course they will get there, and I think that is a big deal for solo players, and it can be very important to get that wrong, so I hope that Massive do bring that in and allow the game again to be able to play solo, especially along in the dark zone. They talked about the loot and it's not working. Basically we should be getting loot a lot quicker than we are at the moment, like every 10 minutes, but it feels we're getting it every 45 minutes. They also said that we will be getting more than one loot, and an example here is the high value targets, and we know that we only get Lone Star, that is a pain in the ass, but they're going to be adding a random loot table, so it means that we can get all the different types of loot by doing the high value targets on top of the Lone Star that we get, which I think that would be great, you know, because if you do want to grind out for sentry gear at the moment, you're only looking at doing Falcon Lost, because that's where it's more than likely to drop more than any of the other incursions along with the Dark Zone. So it'll be great that we can get it from more of a PvE aspect as well. PvP, they did say that there's not going to be any major changes for 1.4, and that will come later down the line. The reason for this is basically they need to fix the core of the game, and so dedicated PvP changes will come later, which I do agree, you know, the core of the game for me at the moment is more important to be fixed than the PvP aspect. You know, there's so many bugs out there, and you can go onto the Ubisoft forum and have a list of it, look at the list of their outstanding bugs on the game that do need to be sorted. Another interesting one is Massive said they want to bring back weapon handling. At the moment, between levels 1 to 30, the guns are a little hard to control, and in endgame with mods, you can make the game like like a laser. But to do this in 1 to 30, as the mods are so small to make a difference, it's really good, as it makes you feel like you control a real weapon, and it adds that bit of realism to it. I think we're going to see some changes, going forward to the weapon mods and what they do to our guns. Also another big news is that they announced that the PTS on PC is going to be coming, but unfortunately they did state yesterday in their update on their Twitter page that it has been pushed back just because of the feedback model that they are using in that PTS, but they're looking to get that out as quickly as possible. Unfortunately they haven't done it on console, and I'm a console player and I would have really liked to have got involved in that, but I totally understand why. It's a lot difficult to do on console, and unfortunately that's not Massive's fault. That comes down to Sony or Microsoft with the Xbox, and PC is just a lot easier for them to do that. But hopefully they did say that they can get around these restrictions, and we will have something in the future for us console players. That's basically it, just a little breakdown on 1.4. I'll have the state of the game highlight reel on Thursday once it's released, but if you do like this video, be sure to drop it a like. Thanks for watching, agents, and I'll see you in the Dark Zone.